Revenge is sweet for Fnatic Academy, who make amends for yesterday's misstep on Dust 2, but there's going to be a lot more bloodshed before this best of 3 reaches a climax. Overpass is next. LDLC will be firmly favored to take the map, but it's going to be one hell of a roller coaster. 16-14, map number 1 in the end.
Again, it seems like we have been gifted when we've been casting together some crazy close games. That one was definitely a grueling match, but in the end, Fnatic Academy, the team who in fact picked Cash, was able to come up victorious. But now we're into rougher waters, I think, for Fnatic Academy. We're going over to Overpass, a map that has been very successful for LDLC. It's probably the best map that they've had throughout this lineup's time together. Whereas when you look at Fnatic Academy, not so much, probably on the weaker end of their map pool. So this is where it's going to be a bit more challenging, and this is where that 3-map series becomes so much more likely. If LDLC could have stolen away Cash, maybe we do see a 2-0, but now at least Fnatic Academy have given themselves that buffer, that safety net of to being able to have the 3rd map in play if in fact Overpass becomes overwhelming.
It could very well be the case, and I think a lot of us expect if it does go to Cobblestone, LDLC are probably favorites to take that as well. But this is the must-win map for Fnatic Academy. They pick it up, they take down Cash. It was labored, it was looking like it could go much more easily and quickly in their favor. LDLC mounted a resurgence towards the end. But you're really looking at Jace Walkings again to pull off some miracles here on Overpass if they want a realistic shot. Bottom started fantastically well on Cash for Fnatic Academy. Kind of cool towards the end. Maybe he can step things back up for a second map here and maybe get us to a 3rd.
Yeah, again, you know how instrumental that op can be on the CT side of this map, so that's certainly something we'll have to keep an eye on with Jay's Walkings here is the side that Fnatic Academy will be starting on. LDLC in the pistol round looking to push up the fountain, and this dude just cleans Golden off the map right there.
Not too much that Golden could do about that. A dead man. Jace Walkings watching on the balloon side. After that kill, it's likely LDLC would have forced their way up long, and Bottom's about to check this and find out for himself. There's the first one, and a second as well. Surely he can't hold this off by himself, but he's ripping through the terrace at an alarmingly fast rate as far as Existence is concerned. Jace Walkings now does have enough time to wrap himself around the site. He's going to get 1 kill before falling, and XMS finally chimes in for his own frag, all on Placid. There's the first one. And Existence will be disappointed, and Placid gets the 2v1 clutch. Oh, Existence is going to be face-palming. He was up in his face with a Glock.
That's about as scrappy as it gets for a pistol round, if we're honest. I mean, we had it go back and forth, the roller coaster ride of a round for sure, but in the end, Fnatic Academy will get their 1-round advantage. It's going to allow them to hopefully get that 3-0 start. No bomb plant, so LDLC, of course, will go ahead and get those tech nines and head armor, as well as a few flashes and smokes in play as well. Once more, they are looking to gather up to push into the fountain area. This time, there's not too much aggression from Fnatic Academy, but just putting the smoke in negative, then slowly backing down into the site. As Existence just kind of clears things out, making sure that no one's pushed up.
Full house of weaponry, 3 UMPs, 2 FAMASs. Nades at the disposal of the Swedes. LDLC have 4 smokes to play with as well, though, so I expect to see a set play coming to fruition in the near future. Existence by his lonesome, pushing up long, checking bathroom. The rest of his team fairly passive, just waiting next to fountains. Not really giving anything away as of yet from either team.
Yeah, just the long smoke here from Existence. Several other smokes in the hands of these players over at at LDLC, as they slowly start working their way up middle. Existence again making a lot of noise.
They have 1 through 2 of their smokes. Still 2 more remain intact. For how much longer, though, as Botten is putting down the hammer with the FAMAS. 3 kills go to his hands. In fairness to LDLC, they have retaliated with 2 kills of their own. So that will yield a bomb plant. UMP and FAMAS have now been picked up for the terrorists. All on XMS. Maybe his time to shine. He's going to be playing aggressive through the smoke. Love that. Doesn't want to be sitting in a close angle with 3 players aggressive on him. He's going to take the initiative for himself. The problem is now that smoke is going to work against him, and in the meanwhile, Golden's going for the defuse. The defuse will come in, and it wasn't even required as Karas picks up the frag anyway. I like the attempt, though, from XMS. I like his thinking.
The defuse still would have been required, even with the kill.
Well, yeah. So. But the kill's definitely going to make things easier.
There you go, there you go. As it is going to be 2-0 for Fnatic Academy. Good on LDLC to at least get a bomb plant out of that. Gives them a little bit of extra money to work with down the line. I mean, this is exactly the type of start if you want if you're Fnatic Academy, though, right? I mean, you know that you're kind of the underdog in a situation like this on a map that LDLC is well versed on. So being able to get off to a good early start on the CT side of the map is exactly the remedy of dealing with such situations, as we are going to see LDLC just, you know, opening up fairly passive.
AK picked up, so they've got a bit of a raid boss mentality, LDLC. Give it to XMS, see what he can do, see what sticks. He is typically one of the entries for LDLC and very solid on it. We saw him time and time yesterday pushing off B platform on Cobblestone and taking 2 players with him often, so we know he has it in his locker. There's a lot of nades they're going to have to push and fend through, though. And with connector control, they still have the option of rotating back to the B side if they so choose. But instead, the bomb seemingly making its mind up and going through bathroom. Twanu, the first of all, bottom on top of that with Jace Walkings. And the opening couple picks are going to put LDLC on their back foot. Now, AK is going to trade hands to Alex, who also has Kevlar. So he is now going to pick up the mantle from XMS. But he's going to go down too. So this strat just simply falls flat on its ass. And LDLC, well, the round is slipping away from them.
Yeah, I mean, this one's pretty much all but over, and Golden will finish it off. So 3-0 start for Fnatic Academy, but now we'll see LDLC start putting some of the tactics together. Again, a team that certainly has well-defined roles and positions they like to play on the T side, but they're one of those teams that typically lean in favor of one side right from the start. Like, you don't see them just kind of saying, okay, we're going to put one guy stairs, one guy B, we're going to slowly work A. No, they'll lean a little bit more heavy towards the B side of the map, or they won't have a B lurk at all. They'll be focused all up on A. So it's a team that really does just kind of commit one direction or the other, usually. So definitely look out again for those kind of blitzkrieg type tactics. Just a lot of utility, very explosive type stuff. You can see Existence. He's the one that kind of floats around the map to add extra pressure somewhere on the map. And this time, he's electing to add the pressure here in Link. Karas is going to be boosted, looking for someone short B, but no one going to be there.
Swanu, Glass Cannon, AWP. Very much a split and pick approach from LDLC thus far. Mistyu's using the Tech-9 close range on Monster in case any CTs get to Ansi and try and push through. The rest of the terrorist aggression is coming through bathroom. But we have been here before, and Fnatic Academy were able to repel the push pretty easily in the end. More grenades and weapons will find their way into LDLC hands this time around, however. But just 2 smokes remain now, and there's 50 seconds to play with. So LDLC in a bit of a sticky situation here, Dust.
And they haven't really gotten too much control. They're starting to run out of utility. Tony's op hasn't really found anything yet, and time is starting to run low. Mistyu has been sitting outside B this whole time, but he hasn't really gained anything. You know, he hasn't gotten control of short. We do have Alex still being able to make his way, and Existence is doing a good job here, creating pressure at A, kind of holding people in place, because the B execute is really the focus here for LDLC. But look at Golden here inside water, holding it down pretty nicely, allowing his team time to rotate.
Oh, Mistyu is the first player into B. He's going to be the last one standing, but not for too much longer. Fnatic Academy, I mean, we said that the chances in Overpass are pretty slim. This is one hell of a way to start things off. A decent foundation of which you can try and hold on to.
Absolutely. I mean, this is exactly the type of smooth sailing situation you want to see if you're Fnatic Academy, as now you have LDLC on the back foot. They're not going to have anything to really work with in this round, save for a few upgraded pistols. And so the 5-0 start is kind of the dream start if you're Fnatic Academy, really.
Almost a full-on Deagle attack, but just Twani with the P250, of course, wanting to put some funds towards that AWP. Mistyu, meanwhile, will get the 1 Deag onto Pleasant and backs away, tries to relocate for another potential peek. Nothing forthcoming just yet. Problem really for LDLC is even if you get that 1 tap, it's still asking a lot to get onto a site. These are where the assault rifle should be able to get the crossfire set up. The Fnatic Academy still will be certain favorites to take this round. That would have been a nice way of breaking into B if Alex could land the 1 dig. Not going to happen. Instead, he receives a 1 tap to the forehead, and Jace Walking's very much the same result onto Twanu.
Yeah, so you're seeing Fnatic Academy actually get themselves back into a man advantage here. XMS, though, looking to see if he can't turn the tide of this round, as he does find the kill on the JC Walkings. Another headshot there. That means the A-bomb site wide open. The bomb will make its way up middle. You're seeing the rotate come in, but XMS gets caught.
It's going to be at the hands of Golden. Just for a second, you started to believe that XMS was going to single-handedly just take it over the finish line on this round, but instead, Fnatic Academy holding on for dear life. Should be mentioned that LDLC are far closer in this round than they really should be. Now making a move onto the B side. Karas has read this situation to perfection. Is he going to execute? Down to 39, he's taking quite a few shots on the approach on Pillar. The bomb is going to start to get planted. Karas going to drop down. His teammate's still not quite in position to lend him a helping hand. The grenade is going to go down, but Mistu connects the one dig, and now it's all on Golden. He's already picked up 2 in this round. He's going to have to go 2 better. He has a kit as well, so he's got a bit more time to play with than he usually would. But he doesn't have a clue where that second player is, and Existence lands the one dig. LDLC somehow get the round. And XMS take a bow, because those 2 one digs he landed on A were instrumental.
Absolutely. Also, that one dig that we saw there right towards the end when he was really trying to commit to Mistu, that is ridiculous. Glad we get a replay of that. And then here comes the 2 one digs from XMS. Just the Deagles wreaked havoc on Fnatic Academy in that round, no doubt about it. But we are still going to see LDLC on a full buy. Tony with the op as well. Straight up default from LDLC. Nothing special here, but we are going to see Karas with the op over Jay's Walkings, looking to get aggressive. Doesn't spot anything and just begins to back up into the A-bomb site now. Mistu, in the meantime, has gotten control of short B, so a little bit of extra real estate for LDLC to work with.
That's why the opposite number of Karas, oddly enough, in this round with the AWP. Of course, it's based off spawns. You expect to see Jace Walkings taking that AWP later on. We had a brief glimpse, a taster of what he's capable of doing on Cash with a sick 3v1 clutch. At a really important time as well. It's 14-14. That turned the tides in the favor of the Swedes. Still more action on Overpass to be played, however. This round not off to a fast start, but of course the conclusion should be much more brisk pace. Karas, eyes peeled over on the long side. Smoke is going to mitigate his vision. Interestingly, staying in the exact same spot. Maybe a bit worried in case he goes out into the open and get picked off on the cross. That's not going to happen just yet, but the flashes are going to get so much health away from him. Down to 19. Bottom's going to burn to a crisp on the truck. And now Jace Walking's going to come up with the M4. It's not going to work for him either. LDLC with a pretty sublime take on the A site. Plesson's UMP, all that stands between them and a second round. And it feels like a case of delaying the inevitable and just trying to save the M4.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be the case. And that's just kind of you seeing LDLC at its finest. I mean, these executes, even if you know that they're coming, they're still to deal with because the coordination is just so precise. The timings of the flashes are on point. People peek with those flashes perfectly. It's just really disciplined, structured CS. It's an execute that's just, you know, like I said, everyone's on the same page. It's so crisp, and it can be difficult to deal with that. That's exactly what you saw there from LDLC on that A-bomb site. Good molly coverage on Optimus, good flash timings, great peek from long A off the back of one. Really secured that round for LDLC. As now you start seeing Fnatic Academy running out of funds. This round will just be a couple P250s, one Deagle on gold, and a big stack at the A-bomb site is going to come into effect here.
And another worrying sign for Fnatic Academy with this comeback is Fani's only got 1 kill, and he just got it in the last round. So if he starts to show up, they're going to have even more firepower, on which Fnatic will have to try and contain. Existence breaks the deadlock in round 7. Does lose 97 health in the process. So they're going to have to take more of a passive part in this round and pull the strings as the master puppeteer that we all know he is.
Yes, Mistu got into B, but quickly backpedaled, and oh no, just the worst timing ever for Alex. Plesson pushes through right at the right moment to get the frag. That's a gun collected as well. But we are going to see, with Mistu getting that info earlier on from Monster, he knows that there's not much presence there, so that means that LDLC can kind of shift their focus to Monster, but Plesson's still finding frags.
Couple heads were spotted. Gold not able to land the 1 deeks, not able to return the favor for LDLC. Bomb will get planted. And again, Plesson in a position to make a call here. If he wants to try and save the AK, it's definitely a viable solution. May want to go in for this one as well. There's a 3-on-3. P250 and USP will be coming to Mistu's right-hand side, and he's going to get taken down. Bottom's not going to be able to deal with XMS. He gets his second. LDLC take the round, but they lost 4 players. That is a lot more than they'll be comfortable with.
Yeah, Good job there from Fnatic Academy, given how limited their buy was to be able to do that much damage. Almost came away with the round. Pleasant had some nice plays there in Connector. Wasn't quite enough, but as you noted, they're going to force some rebuying at the very least, and now we'll have a comfortable buy out of Fnatic Academy here. They won't have an op in play, but still plenty of rifles and utility to work with, as once again, they want to get control of Connector early. It's usually what you see from CT teams. They try to press up forward at the beginning, and they kind of slowly fade back as the round passes. And so no exception being taken here from Fnatic Academy as Jay's walking, trying to see if he can use the edge of the smoke to catch someone playing towards the fountain, but not going to be the case this time around. Golden just holding his own here in the stairwell. And I mean, this is about as default as it gets from LDLC.
Certainly is. Typically, if you see two players go Connector, it's a declaration of intent. They actually want to keep Connector rather than back off, but completely agree. Typically, you'll see Golden retreat back to bathroom, but he's actually staying in there, so may have half a mind to contend with this a little while longer. The downside of that is at some point, if the nades are starting to land on bathroom, he's going to be separated from the rest of his team, and it's going to be hard for him to deal with this on his own. So this trade, this potential fight with Alex could mean everything, and Alex hasn't even checked it here. He does have the benefit of having the squeaky door still closed, so he'll hear if someone sneaks up behind him. But meanwhile, Jace Watkins has died in bathroom, which is going to put a huge spanner in the works for the team of Fnatic Academy. The kills are just being traded so well by LDLC. It's a 4-on-2 and the B site's been planted on. Golden does bag himself another frag. Existence very low on 6, nearly gets spammed up through the wall. But Fnatic Academy's biggest test is still ahead of them in round 8, and that's the defuse. Golden's still going in. Bottom, in the meanwhile, coming through from Graffiti side. Positions that have been taken from the terrace can be hard to deal with, especially as Mr. gets the drop onto bottom as he pushes through. All on Golden. Doesn't have a kit, doesn't have nades, doesn't have any health as Twanu puts him down 4-4.
Just a really efficient trading there from LDLC in that B bomb site. And Existence has been doing a great job with these solo efforts on the A side of the map. He's at times been able to prevent rotates from really being able to happen, you know, creating good pressure, being able to cut off some rotates. So he's definitely been pivotal here, but also just some great work across the lineup of LDLC. They're starting to put their rounds together now. Despite Fnatic Academy being up 4-0, they've now had 4 rounds go unanswered, and now it's all tied up, and it's looking inevitable that LDLC will in fact take the lead, as Fnatic Academy are once more just with a few upgraded pistols in their arsenal, and they're being picked up already quite rapidly by Existence.
Hold the phone for a second, because Bottom and Jace Watkins have both got themselves a kill. And with XMS very low, maybe there was a gateway back into this round. However, XMS has put down 2 frags. Mr. watches for the flank. And the 5th round does come up on the board. So that's 5 in a row now to LDLC. This really was the worry for me with Fnatic Academy, even with a great start. You can't afford to make any mistakes against LDLC on Overpass. And XMS is 12-7.
Yeah, again, a lot of people talk about how Twanu's the star of this team, but I'm thoroughly convinced that XMS is going to be a name to keep an eye on. Again, very young. I think he's only 19 years old. Didn't really have too much experience until he came onto this LDLC lineup, but he's been one of the key riflers on this team, and he's done well in this tournament thus far. We are going to see them not, you know, taking things lightly in this one, just pushing up Monster straight away.
Karis is going to have huge shoes to fill over on the B side, but Golden's going to help him out with 2 kills, alleviate so much of the pressure. Twanu's all that remains. 1 of 3 has picked up the first one with the Tech 9. Oh, Karis, was the call not through? That he dropped into water? I'm not entirely sure. Doesn't really matter, as they're going to get the round regardless. But, I mean, that's an extra weapon they're going to have to buy up, and their economy's not in a great place.
Especially if it winds up getting reset in this next round. It's always something you have to keep an eye on. I mean, you got 3 players here, well under $1,000, so that's going to be a huge thing that they're going to have to kind of work through, as LDLC are in a quite comfortable buy going into this one. Again, just opening fairly default, looking to see if Pointu can't work this op over on the A side of the map. Jace Walkings takes his op up aggressively towards Fountain. Doesn't find anything, but no harm, no foul. Able to backpedal onto the A site, no problem. And now we'll just kind of be at a standstill for a moment, it seems, as Mistu, though, does get control of short B, so that does give a little bit of added space to LDLC to work with. A little bit more information.
Alex is now taking control of the connector, so more information will be gathered if he can get himself up the steps, that is. So connector cleared. LDLC have a player on B short. They know this is more of a deep defensive set up by Fnatic. And we'll look to execute accordingly now. Maneuvering as one up long and bathrooms. Going to be pushing out a connector will Mistu. Maybe keep an eye just behind him on the off chance that one of Fnatic Academy goes walking behind them. That flash on point, it forced Jace Walkings to actually back off. He would have had the drop on Alex, who was peeking through short. So 40 seconds. LDLC don't have much time to play, but Fnatic have no idea what's about to come up against them. I think now as the smokes are starting to land, the call will come through. Okay, boys, it's going to be an A hit. Again, that flashbang. Jace Walkings is being flirted with here. Will be peeking out, misses his shot. That could prove to be so important as Alex will put him down. The Galil will be ripping through with the AK of Mistu. Twanu's next to fall. 3-on-2, 15 seconds to play with, and now it all falls to Pleasant. You can see the frustration from Jace Walkings for a second there, and Pleasant's the next to fall. 6-5. Fnatic Academy finally get themselves around, but then brought back down to earth.
Yeah, just a good trade fragging there from LDLC is really all you could say. I mean, it can be difficult for an opper playing the position Jace Walking was, playing on that sign. You have to worry about long, you have to worry about middle. It can be so difficult to deal with, and you know, it's just really LDLC bunching up and just trading out very efficiently. So now it's going to be 6-5, Fnatic Academy money reset. So now they're just going to be on upgraded pistols and a scout on bottom. So definitely slim pickings here for Fnatic Academy when it comes to what they have at their disposal. Toynu has already eliminated the scout on bottom. Will be picked up by Jace Walkings. See if he can fare better. The answer is no.
Nice flick onto Jace Walkings. He was prowling up on the balloons. Still a player on long. That's going to see Karis behind the rock. Typically in these kind of rounds, you're going to check rock and tree, so it would surprise me if LDLC take Karis out without too much struggles. And he's very much isolated too. He's separated from the rest of the pack. To him to reverse back to A would take quite a while on long, and they know that bathrooms may be occupied. So it may very well be a case of just standing and seeing how long he can last before he inevitably falls. Well, I say that, but he's doing so much damage. A kill onto XMS and knocking an existence down to 7. Still, though, not enough to secure Fnatic the round.
No, I mean, Toynu handling that A aggression pretty well. And again, it's one of those rounds where Fnatic Academy didn't have a whole lot invested into it, right? It was always going to be difficult to really find anything here. Golden does pick up an AK. Holding on to that would be great if he could do so. Also has a lot of utility at his disposal as well, so carrying all that over would be certainly the goal here. But LDLC will most certainly get the 7th round. And so even after a slow start, now you're starting to see what is typical, right? LDLC being quite solid on this map, starting to piece it together now.
Yeah, I mean, as it will go 7-5, that looks pretty close, but you have to keep into consideration that Fnatic Academy took the first 4 rounds and had a fantastic lead ahead of them. So it is actually a lot more one-sided than the scoreline would suggest.
Right.
And I expect the rest of the half to go fairly similarly to this. As you said, if Golden can save the AK, I mean, he's got full nades alongside that and Kevlar, so that's quite a bit of equipment value that he currently possesses. That would be great and bolster their buy in the next round.
The thing is, they can't really buy around this AK. I mean, at best, they're going to be able to get like a flash or 2 and some upgraded pistols and try to make a play with it because, as you saw earlier, I mean, with their money getting reset, they were in that situation where it's like basically double save, but we'll force a little bit. And now that AK isn't going to come into play. And so Fnatic Academy basically have nothing to work with in this next round, if we're honest. So, I mean, that just really bodes well for LDLC. It allows them to keep building up an even bigger lead on their T side. And as you said, I mean, really, Fnatic Academy have only won a couple of straight-up rifle rounds this entire game. It's really been the LDLC show once they got their money in order and started being able to get their full buys in. They're starting to really take care of business, really looking to try to force that 3rd map here.
Karis down into connector, almost forced into desperation plays. Fnatic don't have a great deal else to do. Karis the first to fall. Alex likely will get Plastin if he goes for that peak. Just 5 bullets left. Can just hide behind the wall, of course, and get that cheeky reload. Gets dinked, though. Switches to the CZ. It's going to get forced down by Pleasant, so that is going to be an assault rifle in the hands of Fnatic Academy. Unfortunately, they have no Kevlar to put that behind. And the rest of the map is crumbling, so yeah, just a drop in the ocean, really, for Fnatic Academy.
So M4 in the hands of Pleasant. biggest thing they had to work with trying to go into this is you're seeing them pretty much all shift towards the A bomb side. I mean, that's really their best bet, is just trying to stick together, see if they can't pick the right spot to hold. They're even going to do a little bit of a boost, see if they can do something a little bit gimmicky, try to catch a player of LDLC off guard, get them back into a somewhat manageable 3v3 situation. But no matter what, it's going to be rather difficult for Fnatic Academy to find this one, but they're trying to give themselves their best chance to do so. Something like this, but it doesn't work out. XMS even knows he's there now.
Intelligent as well for XMS to shoulder peek that rather than just go right out. Even when you're in a situation like this that's looking good, you have to be careful. Jace Walking is going to get the drop to him. Hold on, what the hell is happening? Existence is the last player alive in a 1-on-2. There's 20 seconds left. He's got the first kill, but he's actually at a HP disadvantage. He spots the head, but Jace Walkings will take his off. How did that happen?
I mean, it just so happens that Fnatic Academy, they're like, okay, our only chance to win is to stick together, and they do. They stacked at a bomb site, and even though the boost, I think, got spotted by XMS in the washroom, they were still able to get a frag out of that, and then they were able to get into the site and cause a lot of chaos, and they come on the better end of it, and so they do kind of steal a round away there. And now there's still some hope for Fnatic Academy to even take a lead in this half before it's all said and done. Jace Walkings will have his op. He's going to take it into connector this time around. Will he get Alex, who's been playing here all game long? No. He's going to get away, though. That's going to be the big thing. No one's going to be able to catch him retreating. So no harm done. LDLC, good control of short B.
Mistu already into an aggressive position, though. Up on B short. Smoke is going to delay the push for a little while longer. Plaston can play behind that. LDLC will certainly respect that possibility. Plus, with the bomb being around Fountain, they're in no great rush to push on to be anytime soon. Mistu's all by himself, which we've seen quite a few times already around this side of the map. It's either Monster or Short that he'll hide on, or Connector. They're playing more of an A-centric hit.
Yeah, again, we've really seen LDLC go more towards playing default. They haven't really been as execute heavy as I've seen them in the past, so it seems like they're consciously trying to play a little bit different, try to be a little bit more dynamic, a little bit less readable, as it certainly is that is on the minds of LDLC, as you see 4 players here late in the round setting up to execute. Mistu here just had sandbags, looking to perhaps just hold people in place, make rotating a bit more of a headache for Fnatic Academy. We're getting down to the end, and Toinu getting that opening pick.
Very slow rounds by LDLC, but they're finally going to start to get a foothold onto the site with Toinu and Existence both chime in for kills. This is where Mistu can just chill out and Connector, wait for the potential saves by Fnatic Academy or rotations. That's exactly what's going to happen. So Fnatic Academy have already given up on this round. They just want to save these 3 M4s and establish a decent buy in the final round of the half. LDLC, I doubt they'll try and let them save these. I think they'll go for broke with Mistu, at least charging down those potential stragglers.
And I mean, LDLC is doing a good job of really stopping Fnatic Academy from getting any information, right? They're denying them really any presence in connector. They're forcing them back off of aggressive A positions very early on. So you're seeing Fnatic Academy, you know, yeah, if they want to get into party and Fountain, sure, but they have to roll out of that really early on. So I mean, you have like a minute left on the clock where you basically have a couple of guys stuck in A site. You know, Mistu's doing a well enough job at B to you know, keep them honest there and to not, you know, over rotate to the A bomb site. And at that point, you don't really know what's going on. And I have to say that while LDLC certainly played it slow, they've done a good job of mixing what site they're actually intending to hit. You know, you've seen the typical A pushes, sure, but you've also seen them late in the rounds just gather up at Monster and storm that B bomb site. So I think Fnatic Academy is having a hard time really getting a good read on what LDLC's up to, as once more Golden will try to get pushy here inside the Fountain. He's going to really commit to it this time around. It's working out pretty well thus far. Bottom gets a kill, and they're able to, you know, finally shut LDLC down from getting any presence on the A side of the map early on.
Take early control, and you can see this is why I was a little bit surprised that LDLC didn't try and filter out at least 1 or 2 players. His Existence, hold the phone for a second, going super aggro over on the B side are LDLC. Looks like they're going to hold for now. Yeah, I was surprised because they managed to drop 2 UMPs, have plenty of nades at their disposal, and LDLC are now feeling the pinch as a result of the aggressive opening. Toinu on B site is waiting for Alex to come in and help him out. Not fast enough. Leaving Alex the last hope for LDLC of this half. 4 players to find. He's found one, unable to connect the kill. His position is now known. Doesn't have his hands on the bomb. He's about to get aggressed on from the right-hand side, and it will be 8-7 at half-time. So very much like Cash, close half, really anyone's map.
Yeah, it seems somewhat deceivingly close, though, because we talked about it. Like, not many gun rounds were won by Fnatic Academy. Again, the bulk of the rounds they got, that half, or the majority, rather, was off of winning pistol and getting that 4-0 start. I mean, on Rife rounds, LDLC were certainly up to the task, and they certainly got, I think, a good score out of it. This map is notoriously pretty CT-sided. Fnatic Academy really struggled to use that to their advantage. I mean, typically you see teams being able to really work the op on the CT side. It seems like they didn't really get to do that at all on the Fnatic Academy side of things. And so LDLC going to the CT side with 8 rounds, I mean, that's definitely, they're fine with that. I'm sure that they're more than happy to work into the CT side with a lead like this.
I'm curious to see how Fnatic Academy are going to aggress on this as well, because LDLC were very slow. I mean, they're taking up until 30, 25 seconds left to engage on the site. Fortunately for them, Twanu and XMS found some pretty nice patch of form and got them the entries. But had it not been that way, if the trades went the way of Fnatic Academy, I mean, this could easily be a much more favorable result for them. So I feel like Fnatic Academy, if they want to have a serious hope on Overpass, they're going to have to really break LDLC's economy. I think that's their key to success here, is not allow Twanu to get many AWPs, not allow them to go for double AWP picks with Existence or Mistu, who is also using it on Cash. But let's see if they can start this off with a bang, as they are going to be taking quite a bit of utility in here. 3 smokes, 5 flashes, and Pleasant getting charged down by 2 players. LDLC now realizing, okay, it's not a B hit. Let's just try and wrap ourselves back to the A site and wait for the oncoming Scourge.
Yeah, and this is so difficult now, because now you basically have XMS, who's pushed out Monster, just being able to hold that for as long as he wants. And this means that you can definitely commit 3A, and you could probably cheat a 4th player over pretty early. Toinu is making sure they can't come through connector into short B, but they're still going to have really fast rotates. It's going to come down to brute force. That's going to be how Fnatic Academy wins this round. It's just being able to break in here with these pistols, but it's definitely not shaping up that way.
This should be an easy wrap-up now for LDLC. Existence goes down, but Mistu from the truck with 3 kills will give LDLC the 2nd pistol. And I just wonder how important that pistol may end up being for Fnatic Academy. Can they come back from this? I know it's 9-7, but again, this map is so much favored towards LDLC in terms of stats.
Yeah, especially when you look at Fnatic Academy on this map. Again, there's not really much of an offline record there. And I mean, I assume that they'll probably be a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more loose than LDLC was, just based on what I've seen on other maps for Fnatic Academy. So that means some of their players really need to start stepping up and hitting numbers. Like some of these key players like Pleston, like Jace Walkings, they need to find their form. And so far, this round's actually not going too shabby. They actually get a 4-on-3, getting a couple of guns in their possession. So this is actually getting a little bit dangerous for LDLC.
Jace Walkings does take a bit of a battering coming up. Connector by himself, and Golden will get finished off. Bottom, not the next to fall. He's the player that takes down Twanu. Mistu's there to the rescue. 2v1. Pleston has the bomb, has some nades to play with, and a UMP with Kevlar. Oh, he's going to try and fake the B hit. Let's see if either of the CTs bite on this. If either of them are going to rotate, it's going to be XMS, who's in heaven. He's actually looking towards the B side. But he's not seeing the aggression come through. And so he's not biting on this too hard. Mistu, in the meanwhile, is wrapping around bathroom. And Pleasant is coming down the stairs. He could very easily end up getting XMS in the backside, but XMS is up to the task. He read that situation. He didn't fully commit to B. He was keeping his options open.
Yeah, I mean, I think he had kind of the idea that he had another teammate who was actually pushing washrooms and kind of making sure that it wasn't a planet A. But as soon as you see XMS not seeing anyone actually push B, and this player's wrapping around washrooms, he's not seeing anybody in the A bomb side, XMS has to know that it's a possibility that he's been able to get through the gap and try to make that maneuver. And so XMS was more than prepared for it. So well read by LDLC. As I said, that round certainly got a little bit closer than I think LDLC were hoping for, but they come out okay in the end, and now they're looking to extend their lead in a round like this, just mopping up his Toinu with the SMG, getting that bonus cash, and it's pretty much a done deal. Just bottom left in a 1v4 with the bomb in his possession, sure, but without really anything to work with.
Yeah, I mean, his days are numbered here. MP7's all well and good, but not against Kevlar and not against 4 players. So down he goes, and that's great news for Twanu as well. I mean, that's 3 kills with an SMG. Goes right into his AWP fund. Going to try and pick that up sooner rather than later. And there we go. He's going to have himself an AWP and a flash. And Kevlar alongside it. Still keeping 2 SMGs against full AKs. That could come back to bite LDLC in the rear end, but obviously be playing those to the weapon strength, and that's up close and personal.
Yeah, so Toinu already looking to assert himself with this op early on, going to bring it into connector. Is definitely going to be a player there. This could be a chance for him to go ahead and get an early pick. Will he be able to sniff it out, though? Will this player even peek him? It looks like not, and now he wants to start fading back a little bit. Knows that there could be pushes coming soon. He wants to connect back with Existence. Actually, I think they were thinking about doing a boost, but now no, 20 will just fade back to watch long A. And so here from Fnatic Academy, I mean, just opening up default as well. You know, not forcing the issue, just doing some of the fundamentals that you need to have on your T side overpass. Just being able to start working control of middle, get into washrooms, get control of connector. Just leave your options open, basically.
My concern for Fnatic Academy is if they leave this too late and have to just force their way onto a site, that's where the SMGs can even be more of a pain. If you don't check one corner, it can cost you 2 or 3 lives. And Existence is going to be playing on the short side of bathroom. 3 players just behind him in the bathroom itself. Going to be smoking his way out of there. Twanu has his back, covering the main exit. 35 seconds left, and this is where it gets a little bit precarious for Fnatic Academy. They've got no information as to where any CTs are, but that's one hell of a way to equalize that issue. Jace Walkings with a phenomenal one tap. Here comes Existence with the MP9, only good for the 1 kill, but bottom is so incredibly low that Alex could clean this one up. Meanwhile, though, it's all a ruse, it's all a fake. The bomb has gone to B, and LDLC have bit onto this fake pretty hard. Golden takes down XOS. Bomb has now been planted. Alex is good for 1 kill. Mistu, meanwhile, in heaven with the FAMAS is trying to rain down terror through the smoke. But Fnatic Academy are poised to take this round. And it just got a whole lot worse for LDLC. Alex with minimal health in heaven. 3 terrorists to find. He's found 1, but surely no hope here, Dust. I mean,
yeah, you
he's
wouldn't
not going to
think
be able
so.
to clutch this round.
I have to say that was like a really good mid-round maneuver by Fnatic Academy. I mean, the fact that they were able to get both picks at A without needing any extra personnel to do it, meaning that they were still able to maintain control of connector, still have a player over towards the B bombs, that left that option open to kind of reroute. You've created all this pressure B, or excuse me, on the A bomb sites. Now LDLC has to guess, should we rotate to A since we're getting fragged here? Do we still need to worry about the B bomb site? It's so difficult to make those types of shot calling when you're down so many numbers. And so you can see Fnatic Academy taking full advantage of the situation there. They will get their 8th round on the board. Of course, LDLC still able to buy pretty comfortably here. Twanu's still going to have the op as well. So Fnatic Academy certainly not out of the woods yet, but at least they're starting to get back into the game. It's a big round to grab. Stops LDLC from really just kind of snowballing this game out of control, basically.
Back to very slow and steady CS. Overpass hasn't quite lived up to the explosiveness that we saw on Cash. Has been a very tense affair with so much in the balance. LDLC, of course, need to win this. Otherwise, they will not be getting to a 3rd map. Twani, who originally went to peek up long, backing off to the site to help the rest of his brothers on A. And Fnatic Academy are now starting to make a move up across all avenues of the map, trying to take more of a centralized stance.
Yeah, I mean, very similar to last round, and very similar to what, the bulk of the game plan of LDLC was in their own first half T side. We might see a little bit something different, though. I mean, you do see XMS taking a 4 position in short B, so a little bit different, right? Getting aggressive here, something that you didn't really see the other way around. He does get 1 kill, but it is traded out. Now he has to withdraw back to that B bomb site because pressure is coming from Pleasant here at Monster. He's edging his way into the site. Good flash, though, allows Alex to peek in, grab the frag, and now it's right back into the hands of LDLC.
Downside for Fnatic is they wanted that bait to go on a little while longer. They wanted him to suck into the site a couple more plays, and as soon as he dies, that fake is all but gone. And now it's the case of just cleaning up the rest of the terrorists, and it's all too easy for LDLC with Existence bagging the last 2. As you say, that flash door monster was pixel perfect. I mean, Pleasant had no hope. And as soon as he died, I mean, that strat pretty much fell with him.
Yeah, I mean, you could see something from LDLC this map that we haven't seen a lot, is just actually getting aggressive on the B bombs, and they made it work, right? They won out the battle there. I think they went 2 for 1 on the B side of the map, basically, and that was what made the difference. That's how they're able to lock it up, and so now they're ahead 12-8. And Fnatic Academy, you know, very low on funds going into this next round, so LDLC definitely favored to, you know, get up 13-8 here soon. And so Fnatic Academy, they're going to take some time to talk this one out.
Only the one round on their T side so far. 8-7 was the halftime scoreline. And this is kind of what we expected. You know, we talked about this in Cash, saying how important it was that Fnatic Academy managed to get over the finish line after being so close. I think it was like 14-10 or something, and then it went back to 16-14. So we're getting a little bit worried for them. But this is why. We expected the CT side for LDLC to hold firm and Fnatic to really struggle to really break onto the site. And so far, as expected, Fnatic Academy, hopefully they can come up with some new strats or some new ideas as to how they can penetrate this very strong defense.
Yeah, I mean, we really haven't seen them go for too much, right? I mean, they've pretty much just played default every single round that I've seen thus far, so I'm curious to see if they have some type of go-to execute they feel very comfortable with, that they feel is very successful. You know, if they just want to try to gather up and just explode on something. Again, definitely there's some very dangerous B executes that can be had on this map. You know, good Molotov and smoke coverage can really allow you to get in there and impose a huge problem for a B defense. So, I mean, maybe that's something they can think about going towards. I mean, we haven't really seen either team go for anything like that early in the round. It's been a lot of late round play this game. I mean, I feel like almost every single round has gone down to like the last, you know, 30 or so seconds. So it's definitely been one of those slow-paced games.
I mean, maybe that could be something that Fnatic Academy are discussing themselves. Okay, maybe we need to speed it up. You know, it's getting a bit predictable. We're clearly not going to burst through in terms of, you know, 20 seconds left, 15 seconds left with executes. Maybe we need to play more into our wheelhouse of just having very solid individual plays that can shift the dynamic of this round with a huge couple of entry frags. Maybe we are going to see some more explosive strats here, because I do genuinely feel that if Fnatic continue to play this very slow, steady approach, they're just going to get squeezed out of this map. There's no way back in for them. And it seems they are going to go for a force buy here. So Galil with pistols, that could suggest that we're going to see something a little bit faster pace.
Yeah, you can see the Molotov going down from Golden to stop any type of short push coming in. So they definitely want to see if they can't get control of that themselves, and they do with 4 players. And so definitely trying to maybe just close the distance and push short B and try to make something happen. Mistu trying to do some spamming here. I don't know if we'll see a boost or something like that. Alex is starting to walk up close to Mistu, so maybe we will see some type of boost going on. Yes, it is going to be a boost, and wow, he catches Bottom with the nade in his hands. So unfortunate, but they're still breaking into the site.
They are, but it's into the embracing arms of XMS, who goes for the spray. Mistu goes down. This is much better for Fnatic. I mean, this is the closest they've been in quite some time to getting themselves on the board in quick succession. Golden's position has been compromised, and he will go down almost instantly afterwards. There's nowhere for him to move, nowhere for him to hide. Plesson's Tech 9 could prove to be a thorn in the side of Fnatic, especially if they don't check this, but the Molotov forces him out of position. They're going to jump on top of that site with a smoke. And Twan, who's holding the close angle, so whatever happens, Plesson is not getting that round under Fnatic's belt. So the force buy, it did yield a bomb plant, but not much else.
Yeah, I mean, in all that chaos, it allows you to slip in and get a plant because of all the trading, but the problem was is it doesn't really allow you to get in good post-plant positions, right? I mean, you've been fighting your whole way through. You're giving a lot of time for CTs to get in position. You could see that one player, he got stuck in water. He couldn't really get out. He was very well separated from Plesson. He was playing over on the sandbag, so no real ability to trade or bait each other or set anything up to try to, you know, prevent the retake there. And so now you have a situation where LDLC are up 13-8, so very comfortable lead. And Fnatic Academy have to basically do more with less in this round, right? You only have a few deagles. You don't have that utility. You don't have that 1 or 2 rifles in play, so it becomes even more difficult. And I mean, in a half where you've already been unsuccessful with even just straight up gun rounds on T side, trying to put something together in a situation like that is such a tall task.
Especially as I haven't gone aggro either. They're trying to rely on those deagles to get that one tap that can lead to a potential bomb plant. And from there on in, they're just rolling dice. Just hoping they don't get snake eyes. And Twanu playing a similar position that Jay's Walkings was when the roles were reversed. Doesn't have to contend with flashes that will constantly be a pain in his backside. There's the first one. Smoke is going to block off the entrance point, but Twanu's already gone in with 2. Plesson could be target number 3. Misses with the AWP, decides to take his sidearm out instead. And Plesson, well, he's not going to get anything done. Flawless round by LDLC. It looks like we are cruising very quickly towards Cobblestone.
Certainly appears that way, doesn't it? I mean, LDLC only a couple of rounds away from ensuring that this series will go all 3 maps. Fnatic Academy aren't going to have too many more cracks at this one. I mean, you see a bye here. They're going to have an op in Jays Walkings. This is their best chance because if they lose this round, next round they'll have even less to work with than this. I mean, they'll be, starting to run out of funds. So this has to work out, and we are going to see Mistu. He's going to creep up into short B.
Has crept in. Alex going with the USP over the M4. Just putting a tracer shot out there as Mistu's now going to come in from short. If they don't check this, it could be to their detriment for Fnatic Academy. XMS has gone in with 3 kills, but it's still Mistu in the position to try and cordon off this attack with the first, and it changes attention to Golden. And there's another headshot. Fnatic Academy going out with somewhat of a whimper here on Overpass.
I mean, to their credit, they did try something new, right? We haven't seen a team really do anything super explosive in the earlier part of the round, but they just got absolutely shut down by XMS inside the site. We're going to get to see it here, just waltzing around, catching people around the edges of the smoke. Great movement here from XMS, just winning a lot of duels. And I mean, it really does come down to the fact that through this map, they've just gotten out-fragged. Like, the core of LDLC, their frag distribution that they've had has just been much better than Fnatic Academy's.
Oh, that grenade could do so much damage. Actually, minimal, really. I thought it was going to line up for 2 or 3 players. Right on the head. XMS comes in with the AK spray. They need to be careful. If any more push through here, it's going to be either fire or bullets that will end their life. XMS is going to have mercy and puts them down with the AK instead. Botten, to try and save this map for Fnatic Academy, is getting engaged from multiple angles. 16-8 in the end as LDLC will take us to the deciding map of Cobblestone.
Indeed, that is going to be the case, and that's kind of the expected outcome, right? So far, things have gone according to plan. Yeah, maybe LDLC takes cash into 2-0, but it seems like Overpass is always going to be LDLC's, and it does come to fruition. As when you look at this, I think the key difference is going to be just how much better LDLC played the CT side. I mean, really what you saw in the first half was Fnatic Academy really being forced back into the sites, being forced to play a bit more passive, not really being able to read what LDLC was doing. LDLC working the default very well, finding the openings, just out-trading their opponents when it comes to the basics of just being able to out-frag them. But the big difference is when you go into the second half of LDLC on their CT side, they were much more assertive. They were pushing short B. They were flash peeking Monster. They were getting in the face of Fnatic Academy. They were disrupting their plays. And then the other big thing was that Toynu actually had an impact with the op on the CT side, something Jays Walkings was never able to do for his team on his own CT side. And so I think that was kind of the key things that allowed LDLC to be victorious in this map.
Yeah, it wasn't really anything to write home about in terms of explosive CS. It was just a churned out performance, I feel, on Overpass. It's kind of what we expected. I think Cobblestone will be a lot closer. I think it's safe to say that Fnatic Academy will have a lot more to bring. But in terms of that performance, I'm hoping it doesn't bother them too much. They can just dust themselves off, refresh mentally and come back and realize, okay, we're not out of this yet. We win Cobblestone, we still go through, regardless of how poor that Overpass may have been.
Yeah, I mean, you would think that Cobblestone is going to be much more of a middle ground when it comes to map pools for these teams. Again, we were talking about how big the gulf really was between LDLC and Fnatic Academy on Overpass. Like, clearly LDLC were the favorites. This map, it's not quite as clear cut. I mean, this is a map that both teams should be a little bit more effective on. We particularly saw LDLC, they took a close loss on Cobblestone in day 1, but you can certainly see how they can be effective. Like, they certainly have a good mind about them, how to play the game. But Cobblestone's also a map that lends to being able to be very aggressive, particularly like on these B executes. And so that's something that perhaps the firepower, particularly a guy like Pleasant who likes to play that B platform, maybe they can try to use that to kind of brandish their aim a bit more, try to get out there and frag a bit better, and see if they can't still find a way to get to the semifinals over LDLC.
All right, guys, so we are 1-1, all tied up between LDLC and Fnatic Academy. We're going to see who is going to be the victor after this short break on Cobblestone.